Good morning, my name is Christy Rogers and I'm the Academic Counselor for the Bachelor of Multi-Disciplinary Studies degree program. So this morning I'm going to take you through and show you a few important things you need to know about advising for the BMDS program. First of all, what is advising and why is it important to you? The whole point of advising is to get you ready and to get you prepared and to help you stay on track for graduation. Advising is mandatory for every student at the University of Mississippi because the university feels it is very important to give you that assistance and let us partner with you to help you stay on track for graduation. Every fall and spring, you will see an advisor hold on your student account, and that doesn't mean you're in trouble. You're not being called to the principal's office. That just means it's time to come in for advising, so you'll be ready for registration. So once you come and see me, and I'll tell you how we work that in our office, you'll come and see me each semester to just at least once, but you can come more than that if you'd like to talk about where you're at in your degree, if your minors are the right ones for you, career goals that you have, and any help that you need, and also to plan for those classes that you need the next semester. There is a video in our video library about degree requirements, and Ms. Terry Blackmar, our assistant to the dean, gets very specific about the different degree requirements that you need to look at. Just know it's your responsibility to look at your degree and know the requirements for your degree and your minors. And there's several, but that is something that I help you with. And so we look at that each semester. And we'll talk about in a few minutes about being prepared when you come to see me with questions so we can answer all those questions. So how do we handle advising? Typically we use Appointment Plus. It's an online appointment scheduling program that's available to you through our website. And the good thing about that is it's available 24/7. I know when I need to schedule an appointment, I usually remember it at 11 o'clock at night when all the offices are closed. You can go right in and schedule your appointment. You can make changes. If something comes up and you need to make a change, that is fine. Just make it an Appointment Plus. It will also send you reminders to help you remember. Sometimes you schedule an appointment several weeks in advance, so it will send you a reminder the day before. Usually our appointments are in 30-minute time slots. You can let me know if you need longer than that. During the non-busy times of the year, we increase those to an hour if you need it. Since BMDS is a very individualized degree program, we do ask that you make appointments so I can be prepared. Most of our students have a different combination of minors, so we don't have one checklist for all of our students, but I do make you an individualized checklist and plug in your classes into that checklist. So it's best to make an appointment. We are open 8 to 5 every day, so you can drop by, but it will help you not waste your time coming when someone else has an appointment. So how do you use Appointment Plus? Appointment Plus, there's a link from our website, which is generalstudies.olemiss.edu or bmds.olemiss.edu, and there's an advising tab. So you click the link on the advising tab, you'll see my name, so you click to schedule a meeting with me. It takes you through the first time setting up your account. You'll pick a unique username and password that you can use each time you come back to make your changes. It's very, very easy to use. And then, like I said, that'll set you up to receive your email notifications and reminders. And if you haven't been told yet, it is very important to check your Ole Miss email address. Your student email is the main source of communication between all of the staff and faculty on campus. And you'll still have Blackboard to communicate with your professor, but email is very important, and that's where your email reminders will go as well. So, some major keys to staying on track for graduation. The best chance you have of getting the classes you want is to register as soon as your registration window opens. I know you're coming from different schools, so things may have been handled a little different, but each student is assigned a registration window during priority registration. So if your registration window opens the first day, that time that you're given will be the very first time you can register, and then you can register anytime after that. So your best shot at getting the classes you want is to register at that time your window opens. You will not be able to register with an advisor hold on your student account. So it's important to come see me early. I have around 300 students that I advise. And so it's important to schedule and then keep that appointment so you are ready when your advisor hold, when your registration window opens. Advisor holds are one hold. You can have a bursar hold for a bill. There's library holds, all kinds of different things that you need to take care of. So make sure you check your holds about a week or two before registration opens and take care of those with each department as they come up. And then follow the schedule we plan. If you're going to deviate from our schedule, that are the classes that we have planned, really a big deviation, let me know. Just email me or set up another appointment. Some classes you have a lot of freedom. Some minors you have a lot of freedom. For example, the psychology minor, you have 18 hours of psychology classes. Now you have to have the beginning Psych 201, but after that you just pick any psychology you want. So if you pick a different psychology class but it has the same prefix and you know you haven't had it before, that's fine. We also have another video about transfer courses. When you took your course at your other university and you transferred it here, it gets changed into Ole Miss language. I call it like a translation guide. So you have a transfer equivalency report that shows you what your classes were at your old institution and what they are here at Ole Miss. They don't always sound the same. So it's really important to get to know the TER. So watch that video so you understand that, and make sure that you don't repeat a class here. If you take the same class twice, only one can count towards your degree. And then making every class count. If you take a class, do your best in it, make the best grade you can, learn a lot, and then that class will count toward your degree requirements. Students get behind by dropping classes or not passing classes or not making the grade that they need, and that will get you behind, and you'll have to catch up during the summer or intersessions. So to be prepared for your advising appointment and have the best advising experience when you come to see me, make sure you go through that transfer equivalency report. I cannot stress that enough, especially for students who come in with 2 years of work already under your belt. Make sure that the University of Mississippi has received all of your transcripts. For example, if you're enrolled this spring at a community college and you have sent your transcript already to Ole Miss, it will show in process for all of your spring classes. After your grades are posted, send a final transcript so all of those classes will be put into your academic record and we can see them. Also, during our advising, during orientation, make sure that you let us know what classes you're enrolled in, because that will not show up in your academic record yet. So make sure you let us know. If you're enrolled in, American history, we need to know that so we don't put you in the same class or advise you to take the same class or for the same requirement. Write down any questions you want to ask. If you're like me, like I said, I think of appointments at 11 o'clock at night. I also think of questions when I'm not in the room with somebody. And then I get in the room with somebody that has the answers and we talk about a lot of things. And as soon as we leave, I'm like, oh, I didn't ask them this. So write down the questions you have to ask and bring that list with you when you come to see me. Bring a pen, pencil, paper, something to make notes on. And then keep your scheduled appointment time. Plan to come early. Like I said, we schedule appointments every 30 minutes, especially during the busy season. So you might have somebody coming in, if your appointment's at 10, somebody else is going to be there at 10:30. So if you get there at 10:20, we can't run over into the next person's appointment. So if you come in late and somebody's scheduled right after you, or you miss your appointment time, we may have to reschedule. And sometimes that takes several days to get back in. So make sure you come early. If you're using the buses, they're wonderful to use the out buses. But you can't have just like a specific 10 minutes and I'll be there because the buses are buses. So they don't go exactly where you want them to go all the time. So just know to allow 10 to 15 minutes extra time so you can make sure that you're at our office on time and ready to go when your appointment starts. Okay, so the rest of preparing for your advising appointment. Schedule your appointment in advance using Appointment Plus. We talked about Appointment Plus. And then go through your advising summary. You won't have one of those yet. That's what we do during advising. But you do have access to your degree audit. Degree audit is found in your My Ole Miss portal, and if you're not familiar with it, get in there and look around in MyOMiss. It has a degree progress report, has a degree audit, and that shows how your classes are counting towards your degree requirements. There's also a blank checklist on our website that you can download and fill in your classes. You'd have to fill in your minors and your minor requirements. All of that is in the catalog, but I would suggest starting with the degree audit, looking at the checklist, having an idea in your mind of what you want to take and where you're at, and then when we talk, I will also be prepared and we can compare notes and make sure that we are making the best use of the classes you've already had. Really look at the requirements for your minors, and I'm going to say this again. It's in that video as well, but all of our minors require at least a C- for the class to apply toward the minor. There are some minors, however, that require a C. If the minor specifies that a C is required, a C- does not count. So it's a C or higher. A C, a C+, a B, an A. But a C- will not count toward those. So you need to know your minors and which ones require a C- and which require a C for the class to apply. So some things to remember. Important notes. Registration starts earlier than most community colleges. Registration started April the 2nd this time, but it's usually in October and April. And so we say come in early. That means about a month or so after classes start, we need to start working on advising for the next semester. And be ready to check your holds, have them all removed before priority registration starts. As I said, this is your best chance to enroll in the classes you want. We cannot put you in a full class, whether it's an online class or a traditional class. You can sometimes request from the instructor to be added to the class, but there are a lot of students that want a certain section or they want a certain teacher, and so you can't always be added to a class after it's closed. So really work hard to get those holds removed and be ready when your registration window's open. The other thing is making your electives count. So looking at electives, our degree program has more electives than most any other degree program. So that gives you the flexibility to take classes that you really want. So be thinking about what classes you could take that would add to your degree, because it's already an individualized degree. You have 3 minors and areas you want to study in. So think about what classes could add those skills that you need for your career or to look good to an employer. We keep a list of those in our office, but when you think of elective, don't just think, that's just a throwaway class. No, it's a chance you have to add something special to your degree that you wouldn't otherwise have time to do. And so that's our things to remember. Okay, so orientation advising looks a little different, well, really different this semester, but it looks different than your regular advising. You won't have to schedule an appointment with me through Appointment Plus for orientation advising, because your appointment will be scheduled for you during orientation. So we will be advising you remotely this semester. So you'll be assigned an advising time during one of the 2 days of your orientation, and we will do that through Zoom. So if you have Zoom loaded on your phone or your computer, you'll be ready. This semester, I will add the classes to your schedule for you. Usually you would do that yourself through MyOMiss. So use this as a time to look through the registration section of MyOMiss. There's a tutorial in MyOMiss to show you how to do that, but if you want to make any class changes this semester, drop a class, add a class, change a section, you'll do that through your MyOMiss, so you need to be familiar with that. So look through that tutorial and then let us know if you have any questions about how that works. So that comes to the end of our advising video. And so I want to welcome you to the Bachelor of Multi-Disciplinary Studies program, and I look forward to meeting you face to face. Have a wonderful day.